Today on Public Eye News, employment rates are on the rise here in the Upper Peninsula, and after that, we'll have everything you need to know about lawsuits recently filed against pharmaceutical companies playing a part in the opioid crisis.
Later, Bradley Seaborg will have your weather forecast for the next couple days, as well as this weekend's sports breakdown. I'm Jackson Spencer.
And I'm Liam Mullen-Joy. This is Public Eye News. The U.S. Forest Service has issued an update on the Summit Lake fire that began a few days ago. According to the Ottawa National Forest's official release, there has been no reported growth in the fire over the past 24 hours. It is holding at an estimated perimeter of 266 acres. There was approximately 4/10 of an inch of precipitation over the fire yesterday, which contributed to a diminishment of its severity. Cloud cover and cool temperatures also helped moderate it, and the fire has run up against wetlands and lakes to the north and east. Though this cool and wet weather has weakened the fire, it is likely to give way to dry conditions that will bring more flames. There continue to be no structures threatened by the Summit Lake blaze, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation. And statistics from the Michigan Department of Technology, Management and Budget show promising signs for the statewide employment rate. Not seasonally adjusted jobless rates were down in 16 of 17 Michigan labor market areas, with a median rate reduction of 0.6 percentage points. Total employment was also up across the state, with a median employment gain of 1.5 percentage points. The stats also cover the 15 counties of the Upper Peninsula labor market area. The total number of unemployed people in that area dropped by 14.7 points between August and September of this year as well. Of the UP counties, Marquette has the lowest unemployment rate of the Upper Peninsula.
Today through Sunday, the Midwest Bisexual, Lesbian, Gay, Transgender, Asexual College Conference will be taking place at NMU. The conference has been running for over 30 years and is the nation's largest and oldest program for young adults who are in the LGBTQ+ community. The purpose of this conference is to help promote conversation around identity and gender diversity. This will come in the form of dozens of workshops, presentations from keynote speakers, and breakout sessions. This year's conference's theme is We Are Everywhere. This is an annual conference, and the director was, quote, thrilled to partner with NMU, end quote, to bring such an event to the Upper Peninsula. And ahead of Halloween, family-friendly events will take place in the city of Marquette. To start off, the Trick or Trot will be held tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in front of the Ordock Brewing Company. Costumes are encouraged and all ages are welcome. A few hours later, part of Washington Street will be closed for trick-or-treating. This annual event will begin at 4 p.m. and will continue until 7 p.m. There will be a detour around the closed section of the street, and motorists are warned to drive with caution. While Washington Street is closed, UP Health System Marquette will be hosting a trunk-or-treat. There will be decorated trunks, activities, and candy for kids of all ages. Show up wearing a costume at 5 p.m. for some Halloween fun. And today marks 34 straight days without measurable rainfall in Lino Lakes, Minnesota. It's a dry streak that has farmers worried about what's to come. From an organic farm, WCCO's David Schumann has the story.
If there were any rain, Butch Cardinal wouldn't need to spend so much time watering his crops. All Good Organics in Lino Lakes irrigates, so he's not suffering too bad in the drought, but he will if it continues through winter.
We want some snow, we want ground cover, we want moisture in the soil because we don't want to be coming into the spring in a drought. It's hard to get things growing in the spring without moisture in the soil.
Butch is looking ahead to next year, like all farmers do. When he looks back, he doesn't like what he sees.
Way too much rain. It was hard on like our pumpkins and winter squash. We lost about 80%.
Spring floods came after 34 days in February and March with no rain. Now we're in an equally long stretch of dry weather.
We had zero drought in the state. It was fantastic. Now about 97% of the state is considered abnormally dry, with almost 3/4 of it dealing with drought.
I'm getting to the point where I think we're never going to see normal. We're going to see weather extremes, and we're just going to have to learn how to deal with it or cope with it or adjust to it. Our potato crop was good. You know, our onions were good.
Butch is adapting.
We've also had pumpkins fail, winter squash failed, tomatoes failed.
Planting cover crops deeper in the soil so they can reach the moisture that's there, and he's staying versatile.
I'm kind of grow several crops, so when one doesn't do so well, another one is.
Butch says it can be tough, but that's the most you'll ever hear him complain. Like all farmers, resilience is in his DNA. In Lino Lakes, David Schumann, WCCO News.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with your weather and statewide news after this short break. Stay tuned.
On the next Media Meet, we'll bring you an encore presentation of the 109th House District Candidate Forum between the Republican challenger Carl Bonak and the Democratic incumbent, Representative Jen Hill. No other race in the Upper Peninsula is of more interest or expected to be so close. So if you live in the 109th, tune in and consider both candidates' positions prior to casting your ballot. The 1-hour 109th Candidate Forum can be seen on WNMU TV this Saturday at 6 p.m. and again on Sunday at 1:30.
Welcome back. I'm Bradley Seaborg, and this is your Public Eye Weather Report. Starting off with a look at our roof cam, it looks like a beautiful day on campus, just a couple of clouds peeking through, and we've still got some vibrant green grass. Taking a look around the UP, we've got temperatures in the 50s and cloud cover over most of the peninsula. Starting in Houghton at 51 and partly sunny, 50 in Ironwood and 50 in Iron Mountain. 58 in Menominee, 57 in Escanaba. Over on the eastern side of the peninsula, 58 in Manistee, 51 in Sault Ste. Marie, and back in beautiful Marquette, it is 53 and partly sunny. Looking at an advanced look at those current conditions, winds out of the northwest at 19 miles an hour, and the barometric pressure is 29.99 inches and rising. Looking towards tonight, we'll have clear skies, a low of 46, and winds west-northwest at 13 miles an hour. The moon phase will be in a waning crescent. Looking to tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, a high of 52, a low of 36, and winds out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. Looking at the start of next week, Sunday, high of 58, low of 41 with some partly cloudy skies. Monday, high of 61, low of 52 with some more partly cloudy skies. And on Tuesday, a high of 68, a low of 53 with some showers in the forecast. That's all I have for weather. Back to the news desk.
Well, thank you for that weather update, Brad. Looks like those fall conditions are here to stay, but now it's time for some statewide news, starting with this. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel has opened lawsuits against several pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs. A PBM is a third-party company that functions as an intermediary between insurance providers and drug manufacturers. The PBMs targeted in the suit include Optum Rx and Express Scripts. The AG is targeting these companies over their role in the ongoing opioid crisis in Michigan. She alleges that they colluded and conspired with opioid manufacturers for years. This cooperation was allegedly to gain favorable placement on their formularies in exchange for financial kickbacks. The lawsuit goes on to say that the benefit managers created common law and statutory nuisance by allowing and promoting the use of opioids in Michigan. And nearly 1/4 of active registered voters in Marquette County have already cast a ballot for the November general election. According to the Michigan Department of State's online voting dashboard, 22.3% of registered Marquette County voters have filed absentee ballots. That is the highest percentage of any county in the Upper Peninsula. Statewide, approximately 1.3 million residents have already voted. That amounts to 18.5% of all active registered voters in the state. Early in-person voting begins across the entire region tomorrow and will run through November 3rd. Election Day will be Tuesday, November 5th. And with nearly 3/4 of Marquette County waiting to cast their votes, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump continue to appeal to Michigan voters. This includes a stop earlier in the week for Harris and 2 for the former president, today in Traverse City and in Novi tomorrow. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from the campaign trail. Take a look.
For the first time, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Barack Obama took the campaign stage together, rallying in front of a Georgia crowd yesterday.
There's a choice that everybody has. It's either Donald Trump in there stewing over his enemies list, or me working for you.
Before a crowd of over 20,000 outside of Atlanta, the two highlighted reasons folks in the battleground should vote for Harris, rejecting former President Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris doesn't have concepts of a plan. She got a plan to make your life better.
The star-studded rally also featured appearances from rock legend Bruce Springsteen and movie legends with ties to the Peach State. Out west, Trump spent the day focused on immigration, speaking to voters in Arizona.
We're a dumping ground. We're like a We're like a garbage can for the world.
And in Nevada, he denied his former chief of staff John Kelly's account that he praised Adolf Hitler's generals while in office.
No, I never said that. I would never say that.
Today, Texas takes center stage, Trump in Austin and Michigan, while Harris will focus on women's reproductive rights in Houston.
They were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it.
Rolling out a new campaign ad ahead of a rally that's expected to include an appearance from Texas native Beyonce. That's according to a source familiar. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Don't go anywhere. Brad will be right back with your NMU Sports Breakdown. Stay tuned.
No world is truly unchanging.
This is nature at its absolute finest.
Our daughter, she's gone missing. I should leave this alone.
But you won't.
He's doing things no one had ever done before, and that is astounding.
It's absolutely mind-boggling.
Welcome back to our Public Eye Sports Report. Starting with NMU Wrestling, incoming freshman Yu Sakamoto has won the Under-23 World Wrestling Championships in Tirana, Albania, competing alongside 3 other Wildcats. Sakamoto took on Canadian Serene Di Benedetto in the 53-kilogram freestyle finals, where she dominated the entire match, winning 11-0. The win marks a milestone for both the NMU Wrestling program and Sakamoto, who adds to her now lengthy list of accomplishments. Leading the charge for the men's side was Paris Olympian Peyton Jacobson, who finished 5th in the 87-kilogram weight class with a record of 3-2. Also on the mat for the Cats was Max Black, who took 16th place in the 60-kilogram weight class, and Jonathan Grewley in the 63-kilogram weight class. And back stateside, the NMU women's volleyball team has a pair of matches downstate this weekend, facing off against Grand Valley State and Wayne State. The Cats are coming off the back of a 2-1 weekend at the Midwest Crossover Tournament and looking to build some momentum for the second half of the regular season. The Wildcats are 3rd in the GLIAC, but could take 2nd from Grand Valley with a win. Allie Barlow has been a standout player for the Wildcats, taking home GLIAC Player of the Week award for her 52 assists against Finlay and 48 more just hours later against UIndy. This weekend, the Cats play at 6 p.m. on Friday against Grand Valley and 4 p.m. on Saturday against Wayne State. And finally, the NMU men's hockey team will host Arizona State University for a pair of games this weekend. Both teams are off to slow starts to the season, with the Sun Devils holding a 1-4-1 record and the Cats with a 1-3 record. Arizona State's lone win came in their first game of the season, an 8-1 triumph over the U.S. Air Force Academy. First-year head coach Dave Shayak anticipates a challenge this weekend, and with the talent on both teams, he expects a number of NHL scouts in the building. Eyes will certainly be on Arizona State's number 12 Cullen Potter, expected to be a first-round draft pick. And don't forget to dress up in your Halloween costume for the game on Saturday for a parade across the ice and trick-or-treating in the press boxes. That's all I've got for sports. Back to the news desk.
Thank you, Brad, and good luck to our men's hockey team. Hopefully they bring their A game.
Hopefully. Seems like a good opportunity to show them how we do it up here.
Yes,
But
yes.
Jackson, I hear you have a few more stories for us today.
I do have a few stories. Michigan Tech Theater will host their annual Haunted Hoist event this weekend. As the name suggests, it will be held in the Quincy Mine Hoist. The theme for this year will be Fears and Phobias. Technical Director Kent Sear says if you don't have any of those, you will by the time you leave. A hard hat is required and provided. And NMU Theater and Dance will be hosting the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It begins at 7:30 p.m. tonight and will be shown tomorrow night at the same time in Forrest Roberts Theater. There will also be performances at 10:30 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. All proceeds from the upcoming production will support student artists and provide educational experiences outside the classroom.
Well, that's all the time we have left today at Public Eye News. I'm Liam Eulenjoy.
I'm Jackson Spencer.
And we'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.